तो सोमनाथ, गुड इवनिंग माय डियर, गुड इवनिंग, होप यू आर डूइंग वेल। और कैसे
Yeah,
हैं
good
आप?
evening, sir. Yeah, I'm fine, sir. Hope you're also doing good.
Yes, I'm doing good. Like, thanks so much for asking. Somnath, let's be frankly with you, discuss कर लेते थोड़ा बहुत इसकी आपकी strategy क्या रही थी, like during the GMAT, right? So before starting that, I'm just like more interested regarding your background, something. Can you please express, like, can you tell us something about yourself in detail so that then it becomes an easy
Yeah,
for us then?
yeah, sure. So I have completed my graduation from NIT Trichy in mechanical engineering in 2021. Yeah, right after that, I have been working in Bajaj Auto. So it's near about 2 years I'm working in Bajaj Auto. So yeah, that's mostly about my background.
That's good, my dear. That's good. And you have completed your graduation in which year?
2021.
And from that, now you have 2 year experience, right? That will be beneficial
Yes.
for
Yeah.
the GMAT.
Yes.
Okay. And Somnath, can you please tell us something regarding like how you have qualified GMAT? What was your strategy, particularly for two section? Because I'm from like a quant faculty, तो मैं mostly दो subject के बारे में बात
Yes.
करूंगा आज से. And basically, I know you very well. You are my
Uh,
like both in IR section में भी थे आप और quant में भी, right? तो
yes.
what was your particular strategy for quant to get 50? जो आपने 50 out of 51 किया था quant में, आपकी particular strategy क्या था? क्या time management था आपका?
So initially, I checked upon while giving the mocks. I was just doing the questions. I was not aware of the fact that I have to complete all the questions. Then only my score will be improvised. Because if few questions are unanswered at the end, so that can negatively impact my score. So first of all, I had to clear in my mind that whatever question comes in my way, I have to reach to the 31 question at the end. So and the second thing that was in my mind, मतलब I already knew while practicing also, I was a little bit struggling in data sufficiency question because it's not like the concepts are very difficult in that part. It's just that it is tricky. You miss few cases in that, so you have to very clearly evaluate all the possibilities in that or caselets in that for you to get into a right answer. So during practice only, I knew problem solving part I was not struggling much with because that's a very straightforward answer you will get. But data sufficiency you have to focus more. But I also focused more on that part. And another part is if somewhere in in the 31 questions you get stuck in between in the 6th question or 12th question or any 15 number question, the max time I could devote was 3 to 3.5 minutes because I know there are few questions I can do less than 2 minutes, and there are few questions I have to give more than 3 or 3.5 minutes. But if I'm spending more than 3.5 minutes or 4 minutes, then it might affect my performance at the end. So the max time I was in my mind is 3 to 3.5. I'll give an honest attempt to all the questions, but max of 3.5 minutes. And another thing was that I divided the whole 31 sections into 6 slots. For example, I will do 5 questions. I'll check if it is within 10 minutes or not. Same, I'll completely do the whole section in the slot of five questions, so that I'll have a track of time. Because sometimes some difficult question can come in the beginning, or some easy question can come at the end. But if you choose a cluster, that can be 6 or 10, depending on how a student chooses that. But you have to clusterize all your timings and questions so that you don't have to check up on the timing every second you do the solve questions, and also you will have a track of the time how you proceed with that. So that was mostly about the quant part. IR part, basically I practiced from the uh, मगूस का जो IR set होता है, from that I practiced, and I also did few questions from the practice set, and from the mocks also I got a good idea कि in IR there is not very there are not a lot of things for me to practice with. I just have to read the question mindfully. If you read the question mindfully, you would know already all the quant concept, because most of the IR questions are based on the quant or they are from critical reasoning question. For example, which option strengthens the most or which one option weakens the most. So with that and basics of data reading skills, the charts or bars, if you are already aware with that, then you can pretty well do that. If you are not, then also like after practicing 4 5 sets, you will get acquainted with all the process, and you can do well in higher. So that was my overall strategy.
That's great. And obviously, as I seen that you are the bright student of my batch, था like आप जब भी मैं क्वेश्चन देता था पहला आंसर आपका ही आता था, चाहे अब मैं वीकेंड की बात करूं या राउंड टू जो हमारे संडे को होते थे, राइट?
Yeah.
उसकी बात करो तो आंसर पहले आपकी आती थी. So you are it was your first time to prepare for GMAT, right? या आप
Yes.
पहली बार आप बात कर रहे थे?
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
this is my first time. Yeah.
First time. Okay. So how did you know about VerbalHub? VerbalHub के बारे में आपको कैसे पता चला? Like किस
Yeah,
के through?
I checked that from the few forums, for example, Quora and other platforms, where I could get the best GMAT coaching. Because I have heard that in Verbal you will get a lot of materials from the Verbal from the books that you get, and also the teachers are very much friendly with you, and they'll give you personal uh, feedback based upon your performance and all. So you get the attention of the teacher. You have the mocks also, you practice well, and you can ask the teachers the doubt. So I checked upon from few forums, and that was the best choice for me at that particular price and at that particular point of time. So
तो एक एक बात करते हैं, एक डिस्कशन करते हैं, लाइक सोमनाथ, जेन्युइनली जो कंटेंट आपको वर्बल हब ने दिया, apart
uh,
from like session and all that, was it enough, like how much you got for GMAT, या जो मैंने आपको ड्राइव मतलब the content that I shared for 2022 2023 and 2024 like GMAT optional guide and many much more content, तो वो आपके लिए enough था या आपको कुछ और खरीदना पड़ा या ऐसा कुछ था?
Initially was that I did not know whatever the materials that I'll be getting with. From the starting of the GMAT preparation, I was in my mind key. Obviously, I'll do the verbal up because that's something which is live classes. I can have an interaction with the teacher. But along with that, I'll just buy some other product which is out there in market, because it's not everyone is giving the exam from India. So the out of country people would be doing something else more than this. So I had in my mind that I would do Magus and I'll do Verbal both, so that I'll have a balance of both the worlds. So for that, I practice for Magus, but once after my basics are clear from the Verbal. So what I would say ki, obviously the material that Verbal provides is sufficient, very much sufficient for your practice and for the mocks also. But if you feel something like you might be missing something else, so you can choose for anything else. So the Verbal in itself it is sufficient, but at the end it's about the mentality of the student. If he is feeling if there is something other the students are doing, then he should do for that. So I feel like I should do both, because there is no harm in doing both.
That's good, that's good. Okay, so you are presently working as well, right?
Yeah.
No, you are working and you are like the parallelly you are preparing for you have prepared for GMAT as well, right? So
Yes.
can you please tell you how you have managed the time? Like for a working professional, it is quite tough to
Yeah.
balance both job as well as this, like definitely for the
Yes.
GMAT exam. So
Yeah.
how you have managed it for the both tracks? आप कैसे करते थे ऐसे? Like definitely we have a lot of like things to do in verbal as well, as a verbal
Yes.
in GMAT is quite tough. So I'm just talking about how you have managed your time for GMAT as well as your professional life, like your job.
Huh. So initially, I enrolled in VerbalHub. At that point of time, I was not much consistent with my studies. So that is the first reason I bought a online class where there will be interaction with the teacher and there will be other students. So because घर पे बैठ के ऐसे वीडियो देखना कोई भी प्लेटफॉर्म से वो मतलब इतना पुश नहीं देता है, मतलब you can always push that time. So for me to get into the discipline consistent, I had to have a interaction class. So the classes started, I think, in April, in the month of April, mid of April, somewhere around that. So initially, तो मेरा एक महीना से एक महीना या to the end of May, मतलब till the 1st of June, मैं बस classes ही करता था. I was not doing much in my room. मतलब मैं बस class करता था. I was just getting acquainted with the exam. From the month of June, then I started feeling like कि हाँ, there are few months left for me now. So I should prepare seriously. I should book a slot for the exam. And I booked a slot somewhere around mid of August. So I felt like there is 2 to 2.5 months left for me. So I should have to practice by myself and do the classes from the verbal hub. So I used to give somewhere around 2 hours per day. So the हमेशा 2 hours नहीं हो पाता था. So but I used to try to give at least that much of time. And weekend में I was in the weekend best. So mostly weekends में class होते थे. And in that I was giving some 3 to 3.5 hours in weekends. So इतना I was doing. And end के time में मतलब I focus more about giving tests. मतलब August 1st first I started giving tests. So I was giving mostly one test per day. So I gave roughly around some 10 to 15 marks. I could not give much marks, but that is that is the best I can do.
So actually, like you have given 15 mocks in the last 15, like that, 10 to 15
हाँ,
mocks in last 15 days. Okay.
yes, yes.
So did they help? Like, will you suggest to
Yeah.
the other student to do much more mocks in the last days?
Yeah. मतलब, I don't think it will be 15 or roughly around 12 if I'll be correctly evaluate that. So I would recommend other students is that you have to give more mocks because how much ever you practice, that is fine. मतलब, for you to gain the confidence in particular kind of question, you have to do the question on time every time because within a time bound method, you cannot learn the concept of a question. For you to learn the question, you have to do it on time. But after you learn, you have to do that within the particular stipulated amount of time because at the end it's all about doing the question in a given time. So for you to develop a test taking strategy, whether you are performing better in quant or verbal, and where exactly are you struggling in SC, CR or RC, or in quant में कहाँ पे you are struggling in number theory. For you to know your strengths and weaknesses, you have to give a mock because that is a balanced approach because all the questions would be coming in that, then you can develop a strategy and do well. So I definitely recommend for anyone who is giving the exam, at least 25 mocks one should give for them to build that kind of
At least
strategy.
25 mocks before the GMAT
Ye-
exam, right? That's
Yes.
good. Okay. So it's like all your confidence, right? That's good, my
Yeah,
dear.
for you to
And
gain your confidence. Well, it could be lesser for someone else, but I was not that much confident with 12 mocks. So I felt like I could have given more mocks, but I did not have time. So for that, there are a little bit trade-offs that you have to do. So
okay, genuinely, like after attempting the quant section, was it like confident for the actual GMAT exam? When you
yeah,
had attended the quant section, was it like
yeah.
you was like quite confident that definitely I will get much more score, like 50 I will get in quant, और आपको लगता था कि इतना आ जाएगा? आफ्टर मतलब कभी कभार होता है ना कि GMAT में कभी कभार आपका पहले 2-3 क्वेश्चन गलत होते हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली जो
हाँ,
अडेप्टिव है डैश बेस्ड ऑन द
हाँ.
एल्गोरिथम, आपका स्कोर डिक्रीजिंग हो जाता था।
Yes.
और 50 करने के लिए डेफिनेटली यू हैव टू मच, मतलब आपको बहुत ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करनी चाहिए, आपके पहले क्वेश्चन बिल्कुल गलत नहीं होनी चाहिए एंड ऑल दैट।
हाँ,
तो आप कॉन्फिडेंट थे कि मतलब इतना आ जाएगा आपका क्वांट में और आईआर में, इतना था आप
हाँ. See, IR, I was not confident because honestly, when I gave the practice sets, I was not getting a score of 7. I was getting somewhere around 5 only. But in the actual exam, I was able to read the question mindfully. In home also, I was not reading the question mindfully because somewhere in my mind, I knew if I read it perfectly and I'll just avoid my silly mistake, I can do well. But how much well, I did not know. But I knew that I'll get more than 5. That much confidence I have. But in quant, it's something like I was in both the practice sets of the GMAT official guides. So I was getting 50 in the math. In both the times I got 50. So in that I realized that even if I do a question wrong, it does not matter because I have broken down into 6 parts. So I might miss a question now, but I will be able to solve it at later point of time. So and initially what I figured it out, I did not I get a gut feeling ki when I do a question right or when I do a question wrong. So in the exam also I had that feeling ki I am leaving this question, I'm not marking any other option here. Matlab, I was aware ki हाँ, which question I'm doing it right and which question I'm just leaving. So matlab, I was confident that I'll get somewhere around 49 or 50. So luckily I got 50, but 51 I was not because I knew I left 4-5%. So no, I was not sure about them.
दैट्स गुड। एंड इज देयर एनी पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रेटजी आईआर के लिए? कोई पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रेटजी था जो, जैसे आपने 7 आईआर में लिए हैं, तो
हाँ.
कोई पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रेटजी आप फॉलो कर रहे थे आईआर के लिए, या सेम जो प्रैक्टिस चल रही थी उसी को रिवाइज करते, या वो कुछ और क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे, या कुछ अलग से स्ट्रेटजी थी उसकी?
नहीं, आईआर के लिए ऐसा कुछ अलग से स्ट्रेटेजी नहीं था बिकॉज आई वाज जस्ट गेटिंग अक्वेंटेड विद द क्वेश्चन। इनिशियली जब मैं टेस्ट देता था प्रैक्टिस सेट से, मतलब मुझे वैरायटी ऑफ द क्वेश्चन ही पहले से नहीं समझते थे, मतलब क्या कैसा है, जो डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टेबल एनालिसिस हो गया या टू पार्ट एनालिसिस, ये सब जो क्वेश्चंस हो गए, तो आई वाज नॉट अक्वेंटेड विद दोस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन। सो बट आई न्यू दैट वंस आई रीड अ पैराग्राफ देयर आर फ्यू मतलब numbers are there. Once I read it, once I understand it, I can do the question. So for me, it was like if your fundamentals are clear with the quant part and a few data reading skills you have, you can do the questions pretty well. मतलब I only did that मगुस का जो केसलेट होता है, that only I did, nothing more than that.
Okay, that's good. So is there any suggestion for the upcoming student जो prepare कर रहे हैं GMAT के लिए? कोई
Yeah,
suggestion है आपकी, like क्या strategy रहनी चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए, क्या time management होना चाहिए, so that the student watch it, right, कुछ gain करे वो उनके, या
yeah.
those who are preparing for the GMAT, वो अगर ये strategy अपना है कि GMAT में they can touch up to 50 and they can definitely get 7 in IR. Okay, तो कोई
Yeah.
strategy है?
Strategy, one thing I would say initially, who is preparing, first get your basics clear in all the topics, because you cannot run away from a topic. मतलब for example, I was struggling with probability, number theory, sets and all, because मेरे से वो questions कुछ गलत हो जाते थे when it was tricky. So the one thing I realized is, if you are losing a easy question on any topic, you are not going to get a medium or difficult question in the topics that you are good at. So you should never miss a easy question or medium question. The only way that you will not miss a easy question or medium question is to have a medium level in all the topics that you are going through. मतलब जिसमें you feel like you are less confident, this is not your strength, you should work more on that, because those are the questions which will bring down your point in GMAT. That is the first thing. And second thing, after you are after your fundamentals are clear in all the topics, you should practice as much question as you can, or give as much mock as you can, because that will give you the strategy how to finish that within a particular point, particular time, which questions, how much time to give the which kind of question. So for you to develop that intuition, you have to practice more. That's the only thing.
So thank you so much for joining the session. And one more thing, Somnath, कोई suggestion है आपके लिए Verbal Hub के लिए? Is there any suggestion for Verbal Education? कुछ suggestion management के लिए, हमारे लिए, like as a faculty, तो हमारे लिए कोई suggestion, हसन सर के लिए कोई suggestion, या management के लिए कोई suggestion है आपकी?
No, I think the team is pretty well managed, and the kind of guidance that you give to students is already very good, and the material also that you are providing. So few more mocks can be maybe added to the dashboard. That
Yes.
is the only
Okay.
thing I would say. But other than that, it's pretty good and helpful for this.
Okay. That's great. Okay. I mean, the mock should be much more in, like, how much is there available presently in there, Verbal Hub? Like,
Currently, time mock is 6 and
and
untimed mocks are 6. So I think time mock, if it is increased, because it's always better to give more mocks. So
So I think it
that's the
should be
only thing.
increased to 10, right?
Yeah.
Definitely this will be a better suggestion for the Verbal Hub, and I will just drop a message to them, and definitely
Yeah.
they will watch it, they will like work on it, right?
Yes.
And Somat, thank you for joining the session, and we wish you best of luck for your future, my dear.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you
are
for your
always
support.
welcome in case you need any help and all that. You can like definitely contact us. And one more thing, that is like during your admission and all that, we will definitely help you in like in profile building as well. And one more thing is that you have like 2-year experience as well. It will be very helpful, right? So
Yes.
yeah, bye bye. Take care and
Okay.
good
Yeah.
luck for your
Thank
future.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yeah.